Hello and welcome back. This is Greg French. Today we're going to talk about operating systems. We're going to start with lesson 2-1 here. This is part of our computer repair training series. Also, I want to point out there's a website, computerrepairtrainingplus.com, that will also have some additional resources if you're interested. Operating systems, objectives. Learn various operating systems. We're going to use a lot of acronyms, OS being one here for operating systems. Learn how OS interfaces with the world. Learn a few OS tools that you can use to maintain your operating system. Introduction. A computer comprises both HW and SW. This is hardware and software. Physical devices are the visible components. That's the hardware. The controlling software is not visible. Computer technicians need to master both. We're going to find that the operating system, the software, is a whole lot more challenging. And that's usually where about 95% of all the problems that we encounter is in the operating system or in the software. OS past and present. What an operating system does, it manages hardware. It also runs applications. It provides an interface for the users. It's like a middleman. Retrieves and manipulates files. The OS is like a middleman. It runs in between the user and the hardware. A computer needs only one operating system. We only need really one. We can have several on the computer, but we can only run one at a time. Now here's a little diagram. We've got a user. He's running an application like Microsoft Word or Internet Explorer. It runs on top of the operating system, and then the operating system interfaces with the hardware, and then the hardware drives the output devices like a printer. One of the first operating systems that was run on the IBM computers is DOS, Disk Operating System. I still use it today, a good troubleshooting aid. Where can you find it? Troubleshooting disks. Also, we see some older applications, some older equipment still running it. I just saw a piece of equipment the other day running it. Windows 9X, that stands for 9895 ME, uses DOS as an underlying operating system. Windows XP and 2000, they run a DOS emulation. They're different kinds of operating systems. They don't use DOS anymore. Windows 98 ME combines a DOS core with a graphical user interface. So the DOS is the underlying operating system, and then they run a graphical user interface on top of that. Designed to bridge legacy and newer technologies, so it can support the older operating systems, older hardware, and then bridge it to the new. Backwards compatible with older systems. Able to accommodate new technologies. Windows NT. NT stands for New Technology. This was Microsoft's new edition, new operating system. Did away with the old DOS, and it provided a new core operating system. Find on workstations and servers. A lot of problems when it was first introduced, but those problems were eventually corrected. Windows 2000 became the newest edition of Windows NT, which did correct a lot of the problems. Improvements, a more stable environment, support for plug and play, a new device manager and recovery console, and a new Active Directory. Some new improvements. Better networking support. Features specifically targeted towards notebook computers, so it was a new operating system for notebook computers. Two main versions of XP, Windows XP. There was the Home Edition and the Professional Edition. Noteworthy new features. Allows two users to log on and open applications. So it was multi-user. Incorporates Windows Messenger and Media Player. Adds advanced security, such as Windows firewalls. And Windows firewalls came out with Service Pack 2. Hardware requirements. Now, these hardware requirements are pretty much out of date, but this is what Microsoft was saying that it first needed. 64 megs of RAM, 128 megabytes recommended. Really need about a gig today or more. 1.5 gigabytes of free hard disk space. Today you need probably 20 or 30. CPU 233 megahertz. Today you probably need a 1 gigahertz processor to run it. Here's just a picture of its desktop and the startup menu. Windows Vista, and now to be soon introduced is the Windows 7 operating system. Next generation of Windows operating systems. New core technology or new core operating system here. Noteworthy new features. New graphical interface. A revamped engine. Works a lot faster, especially Windows 7. Works a lot faster than Windows Vista. A new interface between it and the applications. A lot of new features. Windows Server 2003-2008. This actually refers to a suite of Microsoft operating systems, and there was quite a few that was introduced. You had the Business Server, Storage Server, Web Server, Standard Edition, Enterprise Edition, Data Center Edition. Not designed to be used on a regular PC, though. In review, operating system acts like a middleman in between the user and the hardware. Windows 98 ME, older operating systems that ran on top of DOS. NT was the first new operating system introduced that wasn't using DOS. Then XP was an update to that, along with 2000. Then now we have Windows Vista, which is pretty much dying to be replaced by Windows 7. Windows 7 looks like it's going to be a good, promising operating system. Again, it's going to take a couple of years to fully get it used out there because everybody is slow to adopt because of the problems that we've experienced in the past with Microsoft operating systems. Activities. Explain where and why you might use DOS. I've already talked about a few. I love it as a troubleshooting aid, and I use it on my computers daily. Explain why you might stay with Windows XP. Talked a little bit about that. Anytime Microsoft introduces new operating systems, lots of problems. Lab 2.1, files and directories. I want you to do that and also turn in all the review questions along with that. Also 2.2, converting the number systems. We're going to be doing number systems with binary numbers and introduce to you hexadecimals. I want you to work on that and then turn that in. That's it for now. I look forward to you next time. Bye.